This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from the Children Advocacy Center. I have Kelly Sefrenick and Caitlin Moffett. Good morning and welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Kelly, I'm going to start with you. I know you've been on before, but I always like to have a refresher. So what is the purpose of the Children's Advocacy Center?
The Children's Advocacy Center is a community-based place where child victims of alleged abuse or neglect can come with their families and seek answers, find out from questions that are going on in their family, support and comfort, all in an environment that is child sensitive, supportive, and sensitive, while we respect the rights of the accused.
Okay, very good. All right, so what services do you actually offer?
We offer at the Advocacy Center a child-friendly facility. We offer forensic interviewing, medical exams. We have victim advocates. We have a multidisciplinary team response. We have a behavioral health referrals. We have case review and case tracking. These are all standards and more that we need to meet for our accreditations to the National Alliance for Children.
Okay, now you mentioned forensic interviews. What would be a part of a forensic interview?
Well, a forensic interview, the goal to a forensic interview is that we want to obtain a statement from a child that is developmentally sensitive, unbiased, and truth-seeking, all in a manner that we can obtain information for the criminal justice and child welfare systems. The forensic interview has a protocol that we need to follow, and that is mandated by the child protection laws that are in Michigan. We need to be trained in forensic interviewing, and that training is conducted by the Prosecuting Attorney Association. So it is a 8-step phase that you have to follow, and the protocol is in place to help the interviewer for structure.
Okay, now you mentioned the multidisciplinary team. Are they involved in every case, every time, or is it on an as-needed basis?
No, they're involved in every case.
Okay.
It is a team of agencies that come together, and we work to maximize the outcome for the child and their family. It consists of our medical providers, our forensic interviewers, prosecution, CPS, DHS, law enforcement, the Child Advocacy Center, medical behavioral health staffing.
School personnel?
Yeah, all in there together, and we review cases and make sure that we're not lacking in anything for these children.
And you know, we talked earlier before we started taping about how busy you are. And, you know, we never bury our heads in the sand. We know that there's, you know, incidents of child abuse in our communities. But one thing I think that your organization and this interdisciplinary team approach has done is I think that it brings things to the forefront. I think that it makes referrals come in maybe where before it would be like questionable, or maybe before, well, you know, I don't know, I'm just going to let it go. Don't you think that that makes a difference?
It does make a difference. When we're all working together, we meet monthly, we review the cases, we find out what's going on in upcoming cases, where we might have been lacking, and what we can do for these families.
And then the training too, all the trainings to know what constitutes child abuse and how to report it and what you do. I think that really makes a difference.
The trainings are powerful for us. We've been out in the community doing trainings, doing workshops. We have an upcoming symposium on May the 3rd at the community college. And we'll have some people from outside of our community come up and give us some training on child abuse and neglect.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Caitlin, we talked about prevention. As I said, we know that we have child abuse in our communities. I know education is a big part of it. You know, sometimes families don't realize that what they're doing is child abuse. If it's mental abuse, you don't necessarily, I mean, I've seen people in grocery stores smacking their kids so hard that I want to just go up and grab them and say, what are you doing? But I think that it's an education thing, and people don't really realize what what constitutes child abuse. So what can we do to prevent child abuse?
Well, that's a good question. Child abuse is a collective issue within a community, and I think the first step that we can take is recognizing that child abuse is happening within our communities, within our homes. So not turning a blind eye, and then being educated, like you said, on that. And so taking time to understand what is child abuse, what is neglect, what is sexual abuse, and understanding how does this take place, where are the opportunities, and then working to minimize those opportunities, and then also working on reporting. Recognizing and reporting it are the key steps in stopping this really from happening, and prevention. Recognizing, so like I said, being aware, and then making sure that you understand as individuals within our community, we have the power to stand up and report that. Now, Kelly was talking that they are quite busy at the CAC, and it's a sad thing, but it's a good thing because awareness is happening, and so reports are coming in. But as we become aware of this and we start to turn our heads toward this issue, we need to understand that there's a responsibility as parents, as chaperones, as aunts and uncles, as neighbors, to take this upon ourselves, because statistically, less than 3% of child sexual abuse and abuse cases are reported by the children themselves.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, so when you think of it, I mean, if the children aren't going to be talking, who's going to be shedding light on this issue?
Okay.
And that's kind of where Kelly and I have done some trainings. I do a Darkness to Light training that goes through 7 specific steps on how to prevent child sexual abuse. And so actually, this is my little platform to invite individuals from the community to have me come in and do a training.
Okay.
I always say it's kind of funny. You can do it in a classroom setting with professionals, or it could be as simple as coming in and having a group of parents sit down in a living room, make some popcorn, and we'll talk about this issue. And then continuing that conversation, because this isn't something that will just go away on its own. And as it evolves with technology and opportunities, and as children grow and people tend to change, this issue will develop and change as well. So a continuing talk on it.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, so a phone number for someone to contact either of you if they're interested in more information.
Yes, that would be 989-657-5082.
Thank you both very much for being here, and I'll look forward to talking to you both again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for some information from Thunder Bay Theater following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm now with Kevin Reams and Colin Marshall, and we're here to talk about an unnecessary farce. Hi, and welcome.
Hello.
Kevin, I'll start with you. An unnecessary farce. Tell me about it.
Unnecessary Farce is a great slapstick comedy. It takes place in a hotel room, actually 2 hotel rooms that are adjoining rooms, and the cops are staking out the other hotel room from the one hotel room. So they've got a monitor hooked up, and they've got hidden cameras in the other one, and they're trying to catch the mayor with his shady dealings with embezzling money.
Are you taking that off of a modern day real thing that's going on out there? It sure could be.
It's but these cops are totally inept. They're the worst cops ever to put on this assignment.
Okay.
And it gets involved in a certain mafia, and we won't give any spoilers.
Okay.
But we have 8 doors on the set.
Oh.
And it's your classic door slamming farce.
Okay.
People hiding behind everything, people taking off clothes and finding each other in compromising positions, and
okay, sounds wonderful. So Colin, what role do you play?
I play Agent Frank. He's head of security at Town Hall.
Okay.
He's basically the wrong man for the job.
Okay.
At first you see him super macho, but there's this hidden side of him that no one really sees. But I don't want to say any more because that may spoil the fun out of it.
Okay, awesome. So Kevin, who are some of the other characters and who's playing the roles?
All right, we've got Nikki Hilton
Okay.
and Curtis Brown as the two cops.
Okay.
Nikki's been with us for a long
Yes,
time.
she has.
Curtis just joined the core company for the last show, Sylvia.
Okay.
And then we've got David Usher who plays
Oh.
the mayor, and Julie Meyer plays the mayor's wife, and Pooja Tolton plays Miss Brown, which is the accountant that the mayor's going to meet.
Okay.
And Nick Hartman plays the hitman that the mafia sends to come in and clean things up.
Okay. So is this a PG kind of show, or would it be a little older?
It's PG. It's
Okay.
like all the stuff goes right over little kids' heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's one of those ones you have to think about it for a minute, and then you laugh.
Yes.
I love those when I go, because usually I catch it a little quicker, and then I hear like 5 minutes later somebody starts laughing because they finally got it. I love that.
It's just lots of double entendres. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, when can we come to see it?
It opens on the 27th
Okay.
and runs for 2 weekends,
All right.
Thursday through Sunday. And 7:30 performance, except for the Sundays at 2 o'clock matinee.
Okay, and call 354-2267 to
Yep.
get the box office, and make sure you make a reservation. Get a group of friends together and come and see professional theater in your own backyard and make a night of it and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you are actually, Colin, part of the Core Theater now company.
Yes, I'm on the core company as an intern. It's a fantastic learning experience, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm learning all these different things from Joe Simpson, who's our technical director.
Okay.
And he's teaching myself and Nick Hartman to basic lighting, carpentry skills, stuff like that.
Oh, very good. So what kind of a set, other than 8 doors, pretty much that's the set, or?
It's it's the two adjoining
Okay.
hotel rooms. So we've got an imaginary wall in the middle.
Oh, an imaginary wall.
Yeah, and so that you can see.
Sure.
If you were on the right side, you wouldn't be able to see the other side. So it's quite elaborate with 2 double beds that butt up against each
Oh,
other.
perfect.
And the adjoining doors that go both ways, and 2 entrances, 2 bathroom doors, 2 closet doors.
Okay, wonderful. So it's going to run 2 weekends in a row. We suggest people call and make reservations. So what's going to be next after this production?
We're doing Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the musical.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Our last guest, Caitlin, said she can't wait till you do it. So
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies also, with Steve Martin and Michael Caine.
Okay.
And in 2005 it was made into a musical, and John Lithgow starred on Broadway. And we're having David Usher be our star for that one. Yep. It's about 2 con men in the French Riviera that decide that this town isn't big enough for the both of them. So they enter into a bet of whoever can get $50,000 out of this one woman, the other one has to leave town.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good. So you have some other local people in the production too then?
Yeah, it's got an ensemble of 10.
Okay.
And principals of 6, and so we've got Bill Powell plays a big role in it, Carol Rundell,
Oh, okay.
and then we've got Hannah Connor, Kristen, who else? We've got Sasha and Doro, the exchange students
Oh, yay.
from the high school, and Zach Clement, and
Are there any songs that we will recognize?
Probably not.
Okay, unless
unless you've seen the musical
Okay.
before. They're all original songs written for the musical. It follows the same plot line as the movie,
Okay.
but yeah, it
Perfect.
should be all new music for everybody.
Okay, so come and see Unnecessary Farce beginning the 27th, 2 weekends in a row, Thursday through Sunday. Call 354-2267 to make your reservations, and we need this. I mean, we need the people to come and see the shows. You guys work your heart out, and you do such a wonderful job there that anyone that misses productions, shame on them. Okay, and then, need for volunteers too. You always need products, ideas, volunteers, things. So same thing, you can contact the 354-2267 number and say, hey, you know, I think maybe I'd like to volunteer at the theater, and I
Yep.
know that you can use their help.
Yep.
All right, thank you both very much. We're out of
Thank you.
time, and look forward to seeing the production.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joynton, president of Alpena Community College, and my guest this morning is Joyce McCoy, who is director of secondary ed and career and technical education for Alpena Public Schools.
Good morning, Dr. Joynton.
Welcome to the show, Joyce.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. And our topic today is advertised on these buttons. I don't know if we can get a close-up on them, but you designed them yourself, and it says Alpena Early College. And why don't we just define what an early college is, and then we'll get into some state funding for how it can work.
Well, it's an exciting opportunity that we're bringing to the Alpena area, and Dr. Joynton is coming with your help also. Matt Poley and Justin Busing, who are principals at the high school, and I went to a conference on innovative schools, and we're always looking for what's best for our kids here in Alpena. And we went to some workshops on early college, and probably looking at a map of Michigan and knowing that there's 45 early colleges around the state of Michigan and nothing in Northeast Michigan was very telling on what our next job was going to be, and that was to open up an early college here in Alpena.
Well, that's great. I remember arriving in January of 2004, and the Lieutenant Governor's Commission on Higher Education and Economic Growth was already in swing. Excuse me, and one of the recommendations of that commission was getting high school students who are ready to start college early. So this is, in addition to dual enrollment, advanced placement, this is another mechanism for achieving that recommendation.
It's another mechanism, and you know, it's also a great financial savings for our parents too.
All right.
So really, what is an early college? It's students committing to a 5-year high school instead of a 4-year high school.
5 years, another year of school.
And you say, why? Why would I want to do that? Well, here's why you want to do it. Because we're going to pay for your 5th year of high school through our state funding. And when we pay for it, your 5th year is mostly Alpena Community College, and we'll be paying your tuition.
And so the way that works financially from the state government is that it has authorized a 5th year of foundation allowances to schools that participate in this type of program.
In early college. There's paperwork we have to do, there's promises we have to make, there's formulas that we have to keep, and students that we have to designate. You know, there's all kinds of rules and regulations to say you're part of that early college and to get that funding for 5 years. So it's not real easy, but it's not too hard for us to do it for our people here in Alpena.
Well, you spearheaded the effort in our whole region, and just so grateful for you for finding another avenue of partnership between the college and the schools, and not just APS, but there seems to be some ability to interact with surrounding school systems.
Oh, absolutely. I think once we get started, we can take a foothold of whole Northeast Michigan and make this happen for many of our people.
So starting in the 11th grade, there's a cohort, 3-year cohort, 11th, 12th, and 13th grade, so to speak.
So the students who are 10th graders right now are really lucky because they're the ones that are going to benefit for Smart Early College experience. So if you're a 10th grader at Alpena High School and you know pretty much that you're going to go to Alpena Community College, or you haven't made a decision yet, you're the candidate that we're looking for our early college program. We're going to get a first cohort of maybe 30 to 40 students, and that group will be the first group that will move through 11th grade, 12th grade, and then year 13.
And as I've seen one of the charts that you've done, there's a decreasing number of APS classes that the student will take and an increasing number of ACC classes.
Probably when you're a senior, most of your classes will be on the ACC campus.
And the end result could be that a person would, at the end of the 13th year, not only graduate from high school, but also have a certificate or credential of some kind, or at least an accumulation of college credits.
And that's what this is all about, is to help our students get an early start on getting those college credits.
So, for example, in a career and technical ed program like welding, getting started at the high school, but building up credits towards an ACC certificate would be an example of how this might work.
Absolutely, and then maybe taking some general college English and other math classes, other requirements that can transfer then from ACC anywhere if they continue on.
Well, that's great. It's a wonderful benefit for the school system and for the college, for the students and for the state of Michigan, a quadruple win as I look at it.
It is, and we're really excited to get this kicked off. If you're listening to our show today, you might look for announcements maybe the end of April, the first part of May, especially if you have a 10th grader.
And so this will be kicking off this coming fall.
Yes.
You don't mess around, do you?
No, I don't. Because why would you?
Right.
When you see this opportunity, why would you wait another year?
Would it be too early for an interested student or parent to contact you now or your staff?
You could contact me, or you could call the high school switchboard and give them your name. They've been taking names as the word has spread.
Good.
We have had lots of interest. We're really looking forward to this.
That's great. You recently attended some professional development on this concept down in Flint with some of our staff members, and
we did. We're trying to find the right model. We're trying to find all the pieces that we need and making sure that they're going to fit in place for us. We have a state meeting yet to go to with some technical information and some paperwork to do, but we're ready to roll.
That's great. And so it's time that Northeast Michigan get with the program, and you're the one that's made it happen. So I really admire your leadership, your initiative. I also appreciate what came out in one of our meetings, that Alpena Public Schools will not really start to get reimbursed for this for a couple of years, so it's going to be some cost up front.
Yeah.
But you and Superintendent Holcomb are willing to make that investment because the payoff is so promising.
And we talk about pay it forward.
Right.
And whatever we can do for our students and for our community is real important.
That's great. Well, congratulations on this initiative.
Thank you.
I'd like to do whatever we can at ACC to move it along with you.
And you are.
And thank you for being my guest on this program.
Anytime.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.